Hey friends, how we doing? The live feed didn't go so well. I need to get a special little shout out to Sweet Georgia Brown, the wife of my very first subscriber, Chuck Stevenson. I guess apparently she's had some medical issues and she's not doing very well. So from my family to yours, we hope a speedy recovery and everything comes out all right. We'll be thinking about you and we'll be praying for you both. I appreciate very much Chuck being the very first subscriber and starting off what has been a really, really fun ride. So we're thinking about you, Sweet Georgia Brown. I hope everything comes out all right. And so then, Jay Farmall went back through my videos because there was a story time that he wanted to see again and he couldn't find it. So he asked me about it, and I looked everywhere. Every story time I went through, and I cannot find it. So we're going to retell it. So I hope it has the same attitude as it would if I was at work or whatnot, but somebody's trying to talk to me while I'm making a video. So I was working for an outfit. I know, I'm trying to quit. I really honestly am. Had a really, really nice Thunderbird TY90. It was a nice, damn nice yarder. We'd rigged up on this setting. Well, the way the landing and everything was, we couldn't get rigged up where we could log the whole thing in one setting. We were going to have to turn it because the guy line stumps and whatnot, it just didn't fall into play for us. Oh, we'd come around where we were almost dead straight out in front of the yarder, and we needed to turn it and jump to this side and come down because of the lay of the land. When we went home Thursday night, that was the plan, was to get there Friday morning and tower down, unbuckle everything, turn it, and then redo the guy lines. So I didn't make a truck order or nothing. And get there Friday morning, and the hook tender tells me that the owner had put a kibosh on that. And it was the last day of the pay period, and he needed to get logs, trucks to the mill for obvious reasons or whatnot. After some argument about it with the hook tender and the owner, and then me and the hook tender talked about it, we all knew it was a bad idea. We were pulling dead on one guy line. But, when it's everything's said and done, the owner's the owner. So they went to work, and it was a couple hours into the day. And hook tender yelled at me on the CB and said, he'd made that layout to this side. Said, asked me if I'd run around the bottom, pick him up, and bring him back up. So I did. And the road come down in like this, and it made a little dip and then back up. And when you come into the dip, you could see the yarder really, really well. I mean, just picture perfect, to be honest. And as we was coming down into that dip, we're talking back and forth, and the hook tender goes, no, 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 no. And I look up, and the one guy line that we was pulling on, you could see it. It broke, and it was just come zinging right past the cab of the yarder, just. And so I put the throttle right to the floor and try to get up there, and yelling at him on the CB, stop, stop, stop. Well, he didn't. The guy never flinched. And I don't know how he didn't see it, how he didn't. Maybe missing the guy line. I don't see how he could have, because like I say, it come whacking right by the side of the cab. And then the tube set forward like this and leaned out, and the two side guy lines caught it. If he'd have stopped right then and threw slack to the skyline, it could have saved it. Never. I'm telling you, this guy never looked at us, never looked at his drum. He didn't look up. He didn't look down. He was looking straight out the front window of that cab, and he had that old girl cobbed for everything she had, and he was actually shifting her in high gear. and it kind of held there for a second, and then you could just see it, and it just right. I'll have to get a picture of it, but just above the haywire shiv, about 15 feet up the tube, it just buckled, and it comes slamming down. Where I'd parked my shovel, it looked like it was landing on top of my shovel. I was like, no, 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 please, no, please. God, and it hit so hard that the back jacks, the leveling jacks, lifted off the ground at least 6 feet. And I mean, here's this, oh God, what is a TY90? They gotta be, it's a 100,000 pound machine or more. Anyways, it hit so hard, and like I say, he is absolutely just pouring the coals to it. It lifts these back jacks up off the ground and slides it, probably 10 feet forward, and then slams back down. When it slammed back down, that's when he finally backed out of the throttle. I'm absolutely amazed. So the dust kind of settles, and everybody all right? You all right? Yeah, make sure the rig and crew was all right. Sky car is still sitting there, because it was a big draw. So it had dropped, but it didn't hit the ground. But there it is, sitting out there, blah, 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 running. And, God, I don't remember. Yeah, he ended up throwing the transmission in reverse and slacked that Skyline off and got the car down far enough that they shut it off and flopped the Skyline out of it. What a mess. I mean, what an absolute mess. And to get it out of there when we was done, what a horrible sight too. And it was just heartbreaking. And it, like I say, it was a really, really, really nice machine. And they'd had some issues with it, but was working on it. I had to put a transmission in it and do stuff like that. But it was in good shape. It was a damn nice machine. Ended up pulling that 90 out of there and brought a TMY 70 in, and it did the job, and it did it just fine. But that 70 was absolute junk. But the moral to the story is that even sometimes when it is the last day of the pay period, trying to get one more load out of it ain't always cost effective, because I'm sure the guy didn't have insurance on it. He may have me. I don't know, but I mean, even if he did had insurance on it, it cost him. It cost him big, because that was a damn nice machine. So, like I say, after the dust settles and everybody's kind of standing there, phew, can't believe it happened. And the yard engineer, he's like, I think, you got to be kidding me. I can't believe that. So I never felt a thing. Imagine that. The drugs haven't wore off yet. This guy was, I can't believe they gave him a job. I can't. I'd worked with him before. Actually, he was the artery engineer of another story time here just a few days ago, the drug addict. So, yeah, I didn't like him to begin with. Anyway, so I jump up at my shovel and boom it down, shut it off, and grabbing my stuff out. One of the rigging crew goes, why are you taking everything with you, Alex? Isn't it obvious that we're going to need to find work somewhere else, because we ain't working up here tomorrow? Oh, no, we'll be right back to work. I'm like, guys, are we working for the same company? Because we'd already been on this job for, oh God, I want to say like 5 months, and it should have been like a 5-month job altogether. But it seemed like just one breakdown after another. The stroker broke down, the shovel broke. No, the shovel. Anyways, you kind of get where I'm going with this. So, anyways, the guy was like, "You really don't think we're going to be going right back to work?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I wouldn't plan on being here tomorrow morning. I know that." So, as it turns out, I go to work for somebody else. I work for them for 3 months, and come back and go back and finish that job. It altogether was a 79-acre unit. It took 11 months. I don't think they made their bid count on that one. just because, I mean, just breakdown after breakdown. They brought that 70 in there, and that thing was in seriously bad shape. Yeah, breakdown after breakdown. It was so bad. The air compressor was the type that's on the side of the motor, and there was a seal that was bad, so the oil would leak out of the motor into the air compressor and leak all over the ground. And then every time you would work your frictions, you get the valve will you guys have heard it. When I had to take a piece of leather and put it across my lap, because it would absolutely ruin your clothes, because it would just mist oil on you all day long. It was a good Yorter other than that. If they'd have taken care of the motor, all the other stuff that, little issues, frictions need to be tightened, stuff like that, but they didn't want to put any money into it. So, 11 months to do a 79 acre job is a little bit ridiculous. It's a lot bit ridiculous. Well, I hope I captured and I know I didn't. I don't believe I captured the right attitude for that story time. And we may end up having to do it again. Like I say, as always, I appreciate everybody's comments and replies. I appreciate everybody's support on the channel. It is absolutely growing every day. Here in the next day or two, I'm going to have to do a new subscriber shout out, because we've gained a few again. Stay safe tonight. When you lay your heads down, you say your final prayers for tonight. Think of Sweet Georgia Brown, would you? Get logs, friends.